They're all a bit high. That's good news, isn't it?
That is good news. Hello, you absolute legends. Welcome back to the channel on another day in the workshop in Lincolnshire. It's a beautiful sunshiny day. It's the weekend and Dad is already at this time busying about in the workshop. We'll have a chat with him in just a minute's time. If you haven't seen the latest video, we've checked the head. We've had the head off. We've checked the heights and we're going to do that age-old check again, and make sure you get it right. Some parts have arrived. Dad's been busy doing bits and pieces with the valves. Again, we'll have a chat with him in just a moment. We're waiting for now the elastomer head gasket to arrive and some sealant, and then it's going to be putting it all back together. In this update then, we'll have a chat with Dad, see what he's been up to for the past 3 or 4 days while I've been at work. Hello, good morning.
Hello, mate.
It's very early.
It is.
You're in the garage on Saturday morning. It's a lovely sunshiny day in Lincolnshire. And I won't lie, I've actually just been for some breakfast at our local Premier Inn with some friends. So I'm up and about early as well after having a big breakfast. So I'm ready for a sleep, but you're tinkering about with the Rover 75.
All I've had instead is a bloody cup of tea and a fag, pal. That's all I've had.
Well, you can have a breakfast in just a minute. I've been at work the past 3 or 4 days. The last time we spoke to you, parts were on order for the head gasket and we'd got the head to pieces, something to do with valves.
Yeah.
What's been going on? What have you been doing the past 3 or 4 days?
Took all the... Well, you've seen the photograph, me old matey, low, didn't you? I've had all the valves out, cleaned all the valves up, I've lapped all the valves in, I've cleaned the head up, and I'm waiting to put it together.
So people on the internet who may not know that process. So I can see, so the things here that we're looking at, that's the valves, right? 1, 2, and you've numbered them all there. And these are, what are these?
Them's exhaust valves and them's inlet valves.
Okay. So when you say you've lapped the valves in,
yes, mate.
Talk us through that process.
I just have to walk up to the toolbox to find the... I actually found people who still sell these things even.
Okay. So I bought a tool. While you're getting that, I'll show you this tool that I bought, 30 odd quid, valve tool. Here it is, there. So that pushes the valves in and out, doesn't it? That's the official tool. There.
It's not the official tool, but it's from that company and I'll really recommend them.
Tools to You Direct.
Yeah, they're a brilliant place they are. They sell these cheap sort of stuff, USA Pro.
Yeah.
It's not, professional quality, but it does the job. I've got my glaze buster for the smart car from them.
Yeah.
You've bought that for this job.
Yeah. So that pushes the valves out and you can also put the valves back in, can you, with that? Show us how you use that. Okay, so you put it on the head.
That compressor, that goes on the end of the valve.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that.
No, don't do it. You don't need to do it.
I can't do it. And then that goes like that.
And it pushes it out.
And then you can put your collets back in.
Okay, so you tried to use your homemade version with this.
I took it to bits with that one, the smart car one.
With the smart car one that you built, but that one, to put it back together, you needed something a bit more substantial. So you've taken all the valves
out. Too tricky to get my fingers in there to put the collets back in, because they are a bit tricky.
So good. So it's not £30 wasted, that, no?
No.
We can use that again, maybe. Who knows?
I hope not.
So you've then put the valves back in. You've lapped them back in.
Because all my rubber suckers on mine are all gone. I've found local stockists of these. Because I walked into this place. It's called TFM Supplies. They sell bits for the hydraulic industry and stuff. They got any valve grinding sticks? And he builds out this. Yes, mate. How many do you want?
He's got quite a few. So what is that there then? Show us that.
It's fairly simple.
It's a stick.
They've been using them for the last 70 years. You put them in here.
So what do you do? So you
stick it on the end of your valve,
yeah,
mate.
with a suction cup.
Yeah, and you've got your valve in there, and you put your grinding paste on, which is abrasive, and you do that with it. And it's something you learn to do. And
it sort of seats the valve back into the block.
It rubs the valve into its seat.
Yeah.
And just cleans it up. And it just laps them together. It makes it so they're a perfect mating fit. That's all it is.
There you go.
It's like taking something there, you grind it against something else, and it
takes the shape and it fits. Okay.
But let's face it, they don't do this when they make them. They just cut the seats and bang them in. Because machine engineering is so accurate these days, there's no need to do this sort of thing.
So, but that's sort of an ancient technique.
Yeah, but can you remember when we was doing the pressure leak, cylinder leakage test? One of the inlet valves was good.
Yeah, we could hear the air coming out the inlet. So we shouldn't get that now.
Oh mate, I had this. You've seen that picture I sent me? I filled them up with white spirit.
Yes.
And I went for my dinner and watched Father Brown.
And no white spirit went through the valve.
Yeah. Oh, they're sealed perfect now.
Okay, good. So all the valves are in.
Yep.
You've got the new spark plugs that I fitted lovingly back in
They'll be coming
there.
out again yet, but I did that for the cylinder.
The head looks like it's been machined.
Well, it's not been machined.
Have you had the head skimmed?
No, I haven't had the head skimmed. The only place I can find is somewhere at Lincoln now, you know.
Yeah, nobody local that's going to do it for
down
us.
to Ben Kent's, but not now.
We've spoken to a few people, haven't we? Including Scott from Discount MG Rover Spares, who has basically said, if the head doesn't need skimming, don't do it. I saw you on your last video with a level across it, this straight edge.
It's not exactly the perfect tool for the job, but
You've been out again this morning.
yeah, I was
checking.
double checking. I was double checking.
And what have you found?
Diagonally, it's perfect.
Okay. So what have you done? You've put your straight edge along there. Yeah, show us what you've done. Straight edge goes along there.
And put your feeler gauge in to feel for gaps.
But yeah,
just here, now they say the limit's 2 there. 3 won't go in, but 2 will.
okay. So it is just on the limit there.
It's a bit high at the ends this way on. But anyway.
But all you've done is clean it up and check it. Yep. No skimming unnecessarily, because actually, as you quite rightly point out, it's so close to that waterway there.
I think you're only allowed 8 thou on them anyway. I did read the maximum amount you could take off in the rave.
You can't take much off there, can you?
I'm sure in rave it says the maximum you can take off is 8 thou.
Okay.
I think so. I was reading it the other day.
That's on the rave document.
I'm a bit sad I'm sitting reading the rave.
No, you're the enthusiast.
I'm not the enthusiast, you bugger.
Right, so what's next with the head then? So you've got the valves back in.
I'm waiting for my mate to get me some sealant.
Yes, we're going to hopefully go down to TFM's again and get some sealant.
I bet they'll have some.
Some Loctite sealant.
I bet they'll have some.
You've cleaned all the crud out of in there.
I have, mate. It's all been pressure washed again and cleaned and soaked in blooming.
Oh, you've put a new thermo regulator thing on there. So what's that we've added? Because I've bought one of them. I don't know what it is. It was £7.
It's for the temperature gauge, isn't it? Basically, we've changed blinking everything, haven't we? You name it, we've changed it.
Do you think that'll solve the cooling issue? We hope
As
so.
I said, everything everybody's advised me to do, I'm going to do.
Yes. Yeah, lots of people in the comments have given us lots of information and assistance and help. So thank you very much. Now, so last time we saw you, these were out. You'd used a magnet and you'd taken all these out. These are the hydraulic tappets.
Yes, mate.
They're all back in the block there, and they turn, don't they? When it goes up, when they work, basically.
It works, yeah.
Any problems with them?
No, mate, because we never had any rattling from the tappets. The only rattling we've got is from the piston slap when it's cold.
Yes. Okay.
I'm not going to say the word.
What word?
Pistons.
Pistons.
I'm sure everybody wants to know what that's all about.
Yeah,
really.
because we've got our little in joke of pistons. Explain to the good people on the internet.
This goes back to the 1990s, after I'd been to Powertrain, and they told us all the things that went wrong with the K series. And so I come back and I was then officially lumbered with every blooming K series noise. And we had a reception lady, and I've known her all the time I've been in the motor trade. She was doing it before I was. And she says, Mr. So-and-so's got a noise with his car. So, okay, I goes out to listen. I think it's the tappets. No, it's not the tappets, it's the pistons. Oh dear. So I goes back in, it's the pistons, Glynis. And she stands and she went, pistons! And from then on, that's where the joke come from.
So I'm sat here giggling to myself because I know this lady, and I can obviously imagine her saying that in her high-pitched voice.
Well, she knew the motor trade inside out.
did.
Because she'd been doing it since she left school.
So that's where pistons come from. I think we need to get that on a T-shirt or a cap or something like that. Just pistons. That could be your catchphrase.
This one stops rattling when she warms up, though.
Yeah. So People have commented on that noise. That someone said sounds like a diesel.
It does sound like a diesel.
In one of the videos, why is it noisy? Apart from the pistons, why is it noisy? You said piston slap. Explain that to me.
Well, it's not really piston slap. It's a bit of there'll be a scuff up the side of a piston from somewhere. Is it to do with overheating? Is it to do with poor tolerances? I don't know. But they was doing it when there was no.
And that causes it to rattle a little bit.
Yeah, but this one stops when it gets warmed up.
And that's a good thing. Especially because the metal
If you take that piston out, you can bet your life one of the pistons has got a great, well, in fact, probably all of them have got a big scuff down the side on them.
But we're not going to be taking pistons out.
Not unless you want to pay me to.
No, I'm not going to be doing that.
Oh, come and look at this.
Oh, what you got to show me? You've been doing some more forensic detective
No,
work.
look at this. Can you see? Look down where the water pump is.
Oh, hang on a minute. Have you put the new water pump on?
No, I want to show you that.
Ah, right. You've taken.
Can you see
look at all that.
Hannibal the cannibal has chiselled it off.
Wow.
That's why it got RTV jolloped all over it.
Oh my goodness. So hang on a minute. Let me get my camera in
It
there.
hasn't actually hit the ceiling surface.
So those marks against the block are that hole there is where the water pump fits.
Yeah.
Someone has chiselled the water pump off and damaged the block, haven't they?
That's why it's jolloped in.
That's why there's all RTV in there.
But it's a bit fresh if it's going to leak.
That's a bit Heath Robinson, isn't it?
Well, it's a bit of a... In Lincolnshire, you'd call him a rough ass.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look at that water pump.
This is the new one.
Oh, this is the new one, is it?
Not the new one, but the one that somebody's fitted.
Now, when we took the thermostat out, when we did the heater matrix, it was all full of rust and crud. We couldn't understand where that rust was coming from.
We know now.
We know now, don't we? It was obviously
what we took off
all the crud and rust off that head gasket.
And you're telling me now, after talking to people that know about this, my phrase about Chinese knockoff wasn't too far off then?
Well, no, because it's subpar, sub-quality, isn't it? And it's not stainless steel, it's just steel. And you can get a stainless steel version, but we are not going to use the MLS gasket.
Antifreeze, though, if you don't change your antifreeze, it turns corrosive, doesn't it?
I think there's been a whole series of errors here. That has,
neglect, isn't it?
I think so. That's caused this issue.
Because this is why we used to change coolant, because after so many years it turns corrosive.
I don't think it's ever had a proper coolant change, or it's been topped up with water. And we know what water does to steel. It rots it. You can see all in here. We all thought it was K-Seal. I think it was rust mixed with K-Seal. I think there's still been some K-Seal put through the system. But the system needs a blooming good flush, doesn't it? Get some washing powder through it or something like that. Let's have a look at that water pump then, because that water pump looked very rusty.
Well, that's just the old one, isn't it? But
so this is the old water pump. What brand is it? Can we see?
Yeah.
GMB. Tell me about that. Is that a good water pump?
I thought it's a Union, isn't it?
I don't know. So there's the old water pump. But is the spindle all right? And the spline's all right?
Well, I have an awful feeling. Is it not a blooming... Is this a sub-part and all? But it wasn't leaking, was it? But I ain't compared it against the new one yet.
Well, we're going to change it, aren't we?
We are.
We've got a new one.
Thinking, well, am.
These are all the bits that are off.
We've changed nearly everything
at the moment. So yeah, we'll have a look on the internet about that water pump. See if it's any good. See if it's rubbish or not. So what have you done to... So that's the head. The head, now what are we waiting to do?
Waiting for that sealant to put it back together.
Waiting for some sealant, put it back together, put the cams back in and put the cam bit back on.
Right.
Seal that back together. And then from the perspective of the head, are you happy that that's done?
Got my tool made for putting the seals back in.
What's that?
Well,
is that your cam seals?
Rather than use a blinking socket and risk it.
You've made a tool?
Yeah.
So tell us about this tool you've made
It's
then.
a plumbing fitting with an hub nut stuck in the end of it, but it'll do it.
Hub nut? Hub nut?
That's what it is.
Not hub nut from Wales.
No, it's off a blooming Renault drum, I should think.
And that's to bosh them back in there. Good. So the head you're happy with now? Okay.
We'll see.
Talk to me about the block.
fine, isn't it?
Well, let's have a look.
We've just checked that this morning, haven't we?
We have just checked it. Let's talk about the block.
All the liners are still proud.
Yeah, because last time you measured them, we thought one had sunk and or was level.
Now we've cleaned the block up properly. Definitely. The worst one is one's level and the rest of them are slightly proud.
So this one, and this one, proud. This one, level. Which means we have to use the elastomer gasket, right?
Yep.
Not the MLS.
Yep.
What are you going to show us? You're going to measure it now?
I'm just going to stick it across.
So same as before with the actual head, you put a straight edge along here and then measure it with your feeler gauges.
That one's proud.
Yeah.
That one's proud.
Yeah.
Double check there. That one's proud. That one's proud. And that one is sort of not as proud as the rest of them, but they're all proud.
So why are we not putting the MLS gasket on then?
Because they're rubbish.
Because they're not very good.
I don't think so, especially seeing as my head's not very good.
Yeah.
Can you see, look, I've put that on there now, and that'll come out there easy.
So in your professional opinion, again, people might have different opinions, you don't rate the MLS gasket, you're going to put the elastomer on because you rate that.
I think everything needs to be perfect, don't it, for the MLS?
People have different opinions on the MLS.
Yeah.
Some people think they're the best thing since
We were
sliced bread.
fitting like mad to MGTFs.
Yeah. Some people think that they're old hat and now the new elastomers are the way forward. I suppose it's suck it and see, isn't it? We've had an MLS on the car and it's failed. So let's put an elastomer on it and go from there.
From what I can gather, if everything's perfect, MLS is the way to go. What they say. And a new rail at the bottom.
Yeah. Again, I'm not an expert, but I've been reading up.
This is new to me.
I think it's called an N series upgrade. So I think the Land Rover folks do it, and they put the big dowels in, and they go into a new rail at the bottom.
Stronger.
It's stronger, but for this project, we're not doing that.
But when I was reading about that, a lot of there was because the transfer case is stuck to the back of the block. They reckon the transfer case was causing stuff to jiggle about.
Right. We don't know, do we?
We don't know.
There's lots of people out there.
Lots of people have suggested we change the rail.
Yeah. But we're not doing that. Not yet.
If you buy one, I'll change it.
I wish you'd told me that before I ordered the blooming head gasket kit.
I know, I did other stuff though, but some of them aren't very good quality that you finish up buying.
Well, all my parts have been from discount MG Rover spares.
They know what they're talking about.
And they know what they're talking about, in my opinion. So,
Did he tell you to have one?
No, he hasn't. No. Talk to me about the inlet manifold here, because we've had a suggestion to remove the jiggle valve.
Yes, well, I've got this plan now. Everything everybody's suggested me to do, I'm going to try, because they've been doing it as well, out in the real world.
So you've taken the jiggle valve out?
I have.
And there's a suggestion about drilling a hole in the thermostat.
Yeah, lots of people have suggested that.
Are you going to do that?
It's just different sizes, I keep getting told.
What would be the theory behind drilling into the thermostat?
It's to get a bit of hot water to go behind the thermostat.
Yeah.
So it doesn't all of a sudden get a thermal shock or something.
That's a good idea.
But the water's what's going through. Can you remember we did arrive at the fact that if the heater matrix is blocked,
Yep.
your thermostat ain't going to open.
No, because it's not going through, is it?
Yeah. But the heater matrix does not have a tap on it. So the water is always going around the matrix. How much is a matrix anyway?
They range between 80 and 150 pounds. It's going to be something I think we replace in the end, isn't it?
It's definitely partially blocked still.
Yeah. But we know that it's a relatively easy enough part to replace and get out, don't we?
Yeah.
It's not a dash out job, thankfully. So what's the plan today then? What's next on the Rover 75?
If you turn up with some sealant, I'm going to have that head assembled.
We're going to have the head assembled and then wait for the gasket, I suppose.
Yeah, get the water pump on.
Get the water pump on.
Put my little hole in the thermostat.
Yeah.
I've got enough to stop me from getting bored and
Keep you
enjoying
busy
myself.
today. Sounds good. Are you still enjoying the Rover 75 project?
Kicks me hand in, doesn't it? I enjoyed doing the head.
That's your sort of mechanicking, right? Lapping valves in and all that sort of thing.
I just came out yesterday and I did it.
When did you last lap some valves in?
I did your blooming smart car.
Oh, so a year ago. It's now what, nearly the end of Feb. We put the car in the garage on the 1st of January. I'm guessing you expected it to be out your garage by now.
Yeah.
Soon. Tomorrow. Test drive 2.0. Maybe not.
She'll be right, bud.
It'll be all right.
It'll be all right, won't it? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do today. That's what I'm going to do today, my friend. I'm going to do that water pump. It's a bit chilly today, isn't it?
Yeah, but it is also 9 o'clock in the morning.
So water pump, little hole in the thermostat. Oh, I've got to show you something. Getting the classic car mindset now.
What's that?
That was all rusty, that was. That little plate over the end of the engine, like a cam.
So you've cleaned it and hammer-righted it?
Satin black, mate.
Satin black?
It's been
Rover satin black?
It's cool rusted.
No way.
Then it's been etch primed, and then it's been satin black.
Concours. Watch out, Concours d'Ordinaire.
And I sort of went over this with some Scotch Brite.
Yeah, that looks good as well. That looked new.
I went over that with some Scotch Brite.
You're having a whale of a time out here. Good. Thank you for all your hard work. Well, there it is then. Latest update in the Rover 75 workshop with Dad. And as you can tell, I think he's actually quite enjoying the process still. I do feel quite guilty that I'm going to say elderly father is out here every day with an old Rover in his garage. I do think he quite enjoys it. And actually, if he didn't enjoy it, would he tell me to cheese off? Probably not, because I'm his son, but we'll get there. It's more than just the car, and I'm sure some of you have picked up on that. Anyway, he's been busy. We've had an update from him. Valves are lapped in. We've got some sealant to buy, but we are getting closer with the Rover 75, and actually I don't see why this can't be done in the next couple of days. Thanks to everyone that's watched the channel so far. We shall probably, fingers crossed, touch wood and touch air filter, still make it to the Rustival. It's 2 weeks to go, and I genuinely can't wait to see you all there. And I can't wait to see the Rover 75 there as well, because, like I say, it is a labour of love, but it's, for me, more than just that. Whatever you're getting up to today, thanks for watching. Please like the video if you haven't already done so. And if you haven't already subscribed and you want to, hit the subscribe button now. It's free to do. And to keep up to date with Rover 75 projects and more. I know it's been Rover 75 heavy on the channel recently, because this is the latest project, but there is loads still to come. Toyota MR2 stuff to do, Nissan Micra stuff to do, and general tinkering. And hopefully some car shows in the very near future. Whatever you're getting up to, thanks for watching, take care, goodbye. If you've enjoyed this video, I've selected a few more specially for you on this page. Click either side to select them now. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button to always stay up to date with the channel.